And welcome back to yet another repeated PlayStation conversation. I am the one, the only, the very close to the blood pumping muscle that I absolutely adore, Bassette, joined by James, the color of the sun streaking towards you at a very quick speed because he's as fast as a dart, Bassette. And we are talking about a topic that is, well, certainly near and dear to my heart. We're talking about the idea of game mechanics versus game story versus game world as the reason we play games. Now, we'll start here at the very beginning. We'll turn it back. Games and mechanics. And when games first came out, you didn't play Asteroids because of the great tale that it told. You didn't play Centipede. You didn't play Pac-Man because of the wonderful world and characters they brought to life.
What the heck is the story in Pac-Man? These ghosts are colorful. Now they're blue. I'm going to eat them.
It's about a guy's addiction to pills, and how he has to face the ghosts of his past if he wants to survive. And the power pills aren't power pills. What they are is there's trips he takes to the clinic in trying to get free. And so that's why the only time that he can actually face his ghosts head on is when he... No, just a stupid game about eating little dots.
Okay, where'd you hear that? Because that was pretty legit.
I just made that up on the spot.
Bull crap.
No, I made that up.
Okay, props.
We're gonna Google it, like the history of Pac-Man story.
All right, we're gonna off topic, but that was legit. All right, that was another Wikipedia page we can create.
Yes, the true story of Pac-Man. I was trying to think of like what the power pills could be that he's eating that allows him to fight drugs. I was like, what do you eat when you fight? You don't eat anything to fight drugs. When you go to the clinic, there you go. All right,
good save.
Thank you. You play the games because of mechanics.
Yes.
Because you played them because they were fun. They were a good way to spend time, waste some quarters. That's why you played games. It's based on game mechanics. Now, a modern example, the game that I consider tied with The Walking Dead for my favorite game of last year is XCOM, Enemy Unknown. Now, XCOM doesn't have much story to speak of. There's a little bit of story in the beginning, and there's actually a whole lot of really decent storytelling in the very last mission of the game. Everything in between is just kind of, okay, we need power armor, so go kill them and get power armor. We got power armor, now we need bigger guns. We got bigger guns, okay, now we got to the portal. Okay, good job, soldier. Woo! It's not a game you play for the story, it's a game you definitely play for the mechanics. The mechanics are spot on, especially for a console real-time strategy game. It's not since Valkyria Chronicles has a console turn-based strategy game just been perfect. The game just feels great, plays great, it's amazing. And it's very much the opposite of The Walking Dead, which is a game I play for story.
Yeah, the mechanics were kind of...
The mechanics in
Dang it.
The Walking Dead are butt awful.
Dang it.
You remember in...
Dang it.
It was episode 3.
Again.
Episode 3, when you're fighting the bandits.
And then the walkers.
That was awful. You end up replaying that many times, not because it was hard, but because it played like butt.
And you had to do it fast enough, or the bandit or walker would get it and end up killing someone in your group. So it says, you failed, we'll go retry again. And it's like... And then for me, there was two different times where the scope wouldn't work. It wouldn't let me zoom in. So I was blind. I still got a couple of them. Yeah. I'm like, son of a gun.
Now they're pretty generous with the aiming, but still, it was more frightening than these finger bunnies. I mean, it was
these finger bunnies wouldn't even begin to tell you how scary it was.
It was awful, but. Like I said, tied for my game of the year for last year, just because of the power of the story and the power of the characters. Now, story-based gaming I would consider fairly recent. In fact, if I were to ask people, what's the first game you played where the story is what stood out to you, I think almost no one would say any era before the Super NES Genesis era. I think most people would answer the 64 PlayStation era. Now, then you get some outliers talking about how great Mega Man's story was. Mega Man didn't have much of a story.
No.
Go fight Dr. Wily. Hey, go fight him, Mega Man.
Why does he talk like this?
You never played Mega Man 8?
No.
They had these anime cutscenes at the beginning, and like they must have got like some random old guy to do the voice of Dr. Light. He's like, we need to find a power surge, Mega Man. You need to go fight Dr. Dr. Wily. And he didn't have a Japanese accent. He definitely didn't have an American accent, or I have no idea. He was like some like Ukrainian immigrant to Japan. I have no idea where they got this voice actor. It was pretty awesome. But anyway, you didn't play NES games for the story.
No.
And what few NES games did have story, they were pretty paltry. It's not the reason you play the game. You play them because they're fun. Even when I think of games that I love from the era, freaking Mario. Mario was a perfect game that you played for by mechanics. Even we were talking before, like great modern Mario games, like the Mario Karts, the Super Smash Brothers, the new Super Mario Brothers. Those are totally mechanics games. There's no real good story to be found at all.
No.
Princess got kidnapped. She'll give you a cake if you save her. She's not in the first 7 castles. Major spoiler, dude. They're not story games.
No.
They are very, very much mechanic games, and maybe even a little bit of this third one. We're going to talk about World. Now, World is I consider very recent development. I would argue that playing games just because of the world may actually be the most recent addition we've made to video games. This is very much no earlier than Nintendo 64 days. Most people probably didn't really feel this until maybe like PlayStation 2 / GameCube days. Remember the first time you played a game like Jak and Daxter, or a game like Grand Theft Auto, or a game like, heck, Paper Mario, and the game world just sucked you in. The mechanics might not be that great. Hey, the shooting mechanics and the Grand Theft Auto games are probably some of the worst shooting mechanics in any major AAA title.
It's because they make you hold it sideways for the kill shot.
For the kill shot.
Aim like this.
Yeah, I love
It's a cat.
It's a cat. I love you, Nico, but gameplay no good. It's the game world, and maybe a little bit of the story that keep you coming back to those games. And I think it's a very recent development. Now this is something that's going to be a whole nother. Little tiger right behind. He kind of just woke up.
Sort of. Sorry.
Now this is something we were talking about on a different episode. The idea of video games changing.
Yeah.
But right now the mobile games are pretty popular, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Angry Birds and games of its ilk have sold far more copies than Uncharted, Gears of War, Last of Us.
It helps that the download is 99 cents, but still, I mean...
Yes. And more people have...
That game, the world is... I mean, unless you get like the Star Wars edition, the world's nothing.
The world's poo.
The story is a bunch of these weird pig heads steal your eggs. And so you're going to fling yourselves at them. Many birds were lost in this fight, but we freed the 3 eggs that were stolen.
Yeah. It is solely mechanics that are driving these games forward. And there's a handful of exceptions, but generally speaking, it's the mechanics that are selling people in these games. So video games seem to be making a loop backwards. And I'm not saying regressing, because it's not necessarily a bad thing, because more people that play video games, the more people that become gamers, the better it is for us, right? It's just that the reason why people are playing games now is very different from the reason people were playing games back when we were growing up. It's creating a very different idea of gamer. Now, we're going to talk about these 3 things, and we're going to kind of rate them in order. The reasons why we play games. For us. Me personally. This doesn't reflect anyone else. Me personally. Number 1 is story. When we talked before about the games that I played, the games that I absolutely loved. First generation, the PlayStation generation, was the Final Fantasies, and then the Kingdom Hearts, and then the Uncharted's. All 3 of those, mechanics are solid, but they're another reason you play. You don't play because you want to stand in the line and wait your turn to hit someone. You don't want to play because you want to go tiki hana, tiki hana, tiki hana.
Stupid glitch.
But you play because of the story. You want to see where these characters end up. You want to see their adventure played through to the end, and that's why you play these games, and that's why I love them. Number 2 is definitely World. We talked about recently, this is a whole nother conversation, probably end up being 2 drinks in. I finally, after almost a decade of not, over a decade, holy moly, of not buying Nintendo systems.
I guess it has been that long, hasn't it?
Yeah. I have actually broken down and purchased a Nintendo 3DS. I'm very excited for Pokemon and other games coming out for it. But the game I'm actually playing the most of right now, enjoying the most of, is actually Paper Mario. And we were talking about this before. Mechanics-wise, it's actually kind of a step down from its predecessors. Now, obviously, it's a step up from
Super Paper Mario.
Paper Mario.
That one is not going to be even regarded as a Paper Mario game. That's going to be regarded as the creepy, stupid cousin that no one likes.
Future archaeologists will find this game and think that we are a bunch of retards.
After finding the original Paper Mario.
The Wii. The Wii must have been the console that came before the Nintendo 64 because the Paper Mario was super crappy. But
hence the super part of the Paper Mario.
It's super crappy. No.
So, at the last part, what do you think of this Paper Mario game? It's crap.
It's so the mechanics are kind of a step down from Thousand Year Door, from here Thousand Year Door, and the original one.
Yeah.
There's no party system. The gameplay isn't quite as deep. The sticker thing is pretty cute and pretty neat, but not quite as deep. And none of the badge collect or anything like that, or the RPG elements I absolutely love, none of it's really there. But the reason I play it, and of course the story is, Princess Peach is captured, and Bowser's got super stickers, and you have to go and find it. Stupid story. The reason I play that game is the world. The world is pitch perfect. They totally play up the paper thing. The 3D is gorgeous. That is the case study for how to do 3D right in a video game. It just looks perfect. It looks gorgeous. Cute little things like Koopa Troopers. Whenever they go into their turtle shell, they just fold themselves up into little origami shells and throw themselves at you. It's super cute.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh man, toads that get stomped on into little paper balls and thrown in the trash can. You have to go and wrinkle them. Little things like that are so cute, and the world is just pitch perfect. And so for me, number 2, if the story was better, it'd probably be one of the best games I played this year. The story's not too good, so it's the world that keeps me coming back. So story first, world second, which puts me as mechanics third. And by no means do I say that game mechanics aren't important. Obviously, game mechanics are important. If Uncharted played like The Walking Dead
in the shooting department, well, I would never play that game.
I probably wouldn't play that game.
I'd still be stuck on the first level of the first Uncharted. Okay, you know what? Sully, will you kill them, please? Sully, shoot them!
Exactly. So, for yourself.
I was thinking about it.
Yes.
All right, so I'm obviously, I play like almost every Mario game.
Yes.
I'm a fan of the Pokemans.
Big fan of Pokemans.
I played the Kingdom Hearts, the Final Fantasy, and everything, and Oblivion. I love the crap out of that game. I beat them million times. Literally. I know it's figurative. Anyways.
Well, here's basically the line for you. If you're more on the JRPG side, you tend to go towards story. If you're more on the Western RPG side, you tend to lean a little more towards
world. I think the world is extremely important because I got to be able to see.
You're very much like Jared in that respect.
Yeah, I have a very big imagination. I still go outside sometimes and just let it, just go crazy. Like, just not my imagination is nowhere near as good as your side. I mean, just I could take a pencil.
You're the man, Jojo.
And be outside with nothing else, like in the freaking desert with a pencil, and he could like literally make an entire world in his head and just be like, best day ever. I mean, that kid, he's I think that's the other reason why he's so artistic. Artistic. Anyways.
Not
Yeah. So I think world is just really important to me. Like, I can always envision myself a part of that world. Like, okay, part of your world.
What would he give if he could live? Anyway.
Yes, so that's a huge part for me.
Yeah, completely understand.
This was a toughie because obviously all of them are important.
Yes.
But I'm actually gonna go with mechanics next. And again, nothing against story. I love story.
Yeah, nothing against mechanics.
I've noticed that some of the games that I really enjoy, the story is not necessarily the greatest. Like, obviously, Pokemon repeats itself over and over again. Oh, a professor with a tree or plant name wants you to go study all these Pokemon.
Are you a boy or girl?
Are you a boy or girl? I am a boy or girl. Oh, it's my grandson. I forget his name. Oh, I was right, Dumbface.
Oh, Poop Breath. How can I forget my nephew Poop Breath?
I'm replaying Silver, and the redhead is the villain. I named him Ginger.
Oh.
Anyways. So, I mean, like, that... The story is very important in certain games. Like some of the games I enjoy the most have amazing story.
Yes.
But I hold it at a category or, decent story. It doesn't cut it for me. It's got to be an amazing story for me to be like, all right, I'm playing this game for the story.
Walking Dead.
Exactly. I mean, that's a great example where I can just disregard the mechanics,
horrible mechanics
completely. But I don't know. Maybe it's because of my love of the sport games as well. But I really like good mechanics.
Well, see, actually, I think that also plays into world. When you think of the best sports games. You know, your high quality NCAA's or your
NFL.
Yeah.
And you always make your own characters.
Exactly.
You put
Like
yourself in there.
it's the little things like I can set my own salary cap. Oh, I can do this. I can do that. I can do training camps.
I always play with the salary cap on, because if you don't, the year when everyone gets dropped, you can pick up and really make an ultimate team and no one will ever beat you. So I'm like, well, that doesn't seem fair. So I always play with the cap on. Jason doesn't. I just had a cough. I'm sorry.
But even that plays in the world.
Yes.
A mixture of world mechanics, and there's not much of a story to football. Actually, you want to know my suggestion? Now that EA Sports has no longer renewed the NCAA license, they're still gonna make a college game, still gonna have college teams. How about you take it back a notch? How about you start out with these kids while they're in high school, and you follow them through the rookie careers, and you help guide them to make the right choices and stay away from drugs. Or just stay away from drugs and wild sex parties, and help them become the great athletes that they can become, so they can go on to be college football stars.
Better idea. How do we do it in real life?
Oh, because no one cares about people in real life.
Yeah, seriously, it's so depressing. You know how many people are? It's just like, okay, really? Wow, you are pathetic. You threw away. You're making $1 million doing something that I would kill to do, and
free.
You're getting paid to do it, and you're just gonna say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go do drugs. I'm gonna go throw a freaking water bottle at a waitress because she didn't bring my stuff in time. I'm a superstar. Come on. What?
Wow, we really got off topic, but yeah,
yes, we did. This has nothing to do with this has something to do with the world that we live in. It's
the world that we live in. That's why we play video games, to get away from this world and go into their world.
Exactly, which is why I like World so much. I think, actually, you know what? I'm making that tie. That is why I love World so much, because I can take a different world where I'm a hero and I can save it. I can do something instead of this piece of crap where we live in, where our voices are muffled out by the pillow of
the pillow of
just everyone else.
The pillow of everyone. The pillow of everyone else. So if you
I'll
also
get them into a T-shirt.
if you also want your voice heard and not to be stifled by the pillow of everyone else, record your own response videos. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Don't let the man shut you down, bro. Fuck the power.
Especially those that are part of that Marvel generation, like JoJo. How do you feel? Are you leaning towards more towards mechanics, or going back and playing our games? Are you leaning more towards story and world? I'm very interested, and so please let us know. Jana, Jason, Jared, and our adopted son Levi,
our adopted brother.
Yes, please let us know. We really want to hear what you have to say. Make your own video, post them as responses. Post them as response videos on YouTube, so other people can see what you have to say too. All other 3 people.
Yes.
I'll talk to you later.
PlayStation Members has 16 views.
Woo! So join us next time on PlayStation Education, where hopefully we'll talk about another game or another topic that is near and dear to our darts.
I see what you did there.
Bye-bye.
Maybe we'll actually stay on topic next time too.